You guys wanted to know the truth, so here it is. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Safra and I am a full-time artist if you didn't read by the title. This is actually a pretty new endeavor that I started doing full-time in 2023. So this is me speaking on my experience from my very first year of being a full-time artist. And I'm here to give you all of the tea. So you are probably wondering, how did you even get here? Like, how are you even a full-time artist? I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I have past videos where I talk about my story and how I got here, but it kind of goes like this. I've always been a creative person. I was into photography. Fast forward to university, I went to a business and media program. I graduated from it, but during my third year, I wanted to learn how to draw so that I can storyboard in the creative photography industry. So I bought an iPad with my student loan, the same iPad I use to this day, and I learned how to draw. So every single year for 365 days, I drew one illustration, and I fell in love with digital art. And you would think that's where my journey started, but no. After that, I ended up working in the 9-to-5 life for about a year and a half, and I did it because all of my peers were doing it. It felt like the right move, especially after coming from a freaking global pandemic. Like, this was peak pandemic times and all my friends were getting jobs, so I just thought that was naturally the correct next move. I learned a lot from the job. It was a very good first job. However, I didn't feel like I was fulfilling the creative side of me. Fast forward, after a year of that job, I did my evaluation and I was like, yo, life is too short to be working at a job that I feel like isn't fulfilling me. I'm gonna quit. And so that's exactly what I did. I got delusional and I quit my freaking job, and here we are. Haven't looked back since. Also, being a daughter of a South Asian household, I feel like that is another arm that gets added into the whole mix of me deciding to do this and how I did it and how I navigated that. But I do feel like that could be a whole nother video. So if you do want to hear how I navigated that experience, let me know and I will film one about that. So now that you have a little bit of my backstory, let's get into what I faced. So when I quit my job, I did say that 2023 was the first real year, and I say that because 2023 was the year that I actually took it seriously. But what I don't really talk about is the fact that I quit my job at the beginning of 2022. So I quit in 2022. I was working part-time for my job, like helping them out contractually every couple hours, kind of as they transitioned into finding someone new. And I was also working like a couple freelance side projects with some friends. So I feel like in that moment, I quit my full-time job, but I was kind of scared to really do the jump of committing to my own endeavors. Like, there was a part of me still wanting to hold on to the security of working for someone else because I was scared and I didn't have a real plan. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And in that same year, in 2022, I did a lot of traveling. I did traveling for fun, but I was also big in the Web3 space at the time. So I went to a lot of Web3 and crypto conferences. And when I was meeting people there, and when I told them that I quit my job, they're like, oh, cool. So like, what are you doing? And I had no answer because at this point, I had no direction. I had no vision. I didn't know what I could even do as a full-time artist. I didn't know how much money I could make. I didn't know how I wanted to make money, like whether that was through content, whether that was through selling my prints through an online shop. Like, I had no vision. I just quit my job with vibes and said, I'll figure it out. And so when people would, like I said, people would ask me and I didn't really have any plan or any goal or ambition, or like I had ambition, but I didn't know how I was getting there. So I didn't know what to tell people. And like, I kind of avoided going out for a bit into like these conferences, or I would always direct the conversation back to other people because I didn't want to seem like a failure. And we already know that in society, there's this whole trope of the starving artist, right? Everybody thinks, oh, you're an artist, you must be broke. Oh, you're an artist? Damn, I'm so sorry. How do you eat? And so to me, it was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing for me to be like, oh, I quit my job to be an artist. Even though deep down in my heart, there was a purpose for me as an artist and there was a purpose for me there. At that moment, I didn't even quite understand my purpose to even explain it to people. I feel like the embarrassment that I had subconsciously in my mind took over, and that's what would come out when I talked to people. So that year was rough. I remember even like on the side, I would look for part-time jobs. I did many interviews, you guys. I did so many marketing interviews for part-time roles. One company, like, they really wanted to hire me, but they wanted me full-time. So then I remember turning them down. Otherwise, I would have said yeah, because I'm like, I don't want something full-time after I just left a full-time job. It even got to the point where I worked part-time at a restaurant just because I had no idea of what I wanted to do and I needed money. Like, I couldn't just live off of nothing. I lasted 2 months. I lasted 2 months. It was so bad. I did not like it. I did not like the people that I was working with. And that was near the end of the year of 2022. And near that end of the year, I finally said, okay, I'm gonna start taking this seriously. And the first thing I did was open up my Etsy shop. And my Etsy shop was small. I did a launch, I remember November 1st, 2022. I launched cards, stickers, all of that stuff. And this is another truth you need to know. That shop, it didn't do that great. To this day, it didn't do that great. So I had that shop launched originally in 2020 during the pandemic. And I think at the time I had about 50 sales. So when I launched again in 2022, you know, I created all this art. I created a marketing campaign. I took all these photos. I put in so much effort. And to this day, I think I only have 160 sales. And it's been like more than a year since I relaunched that. And not to say 160 sales is nothing, but I want to let you know that that's the truth. I'm not this big small business who blew up on Etsy and is making income from Etsy. Like, that unfortunately wasn't the case. But even though my Etsy didn't go that far, one, it's still live and I still passively take orders as they come. But two, the most important thing is creating my Etsy shop was a huge turning point for me. For the first time since I quit my job early in 2022, I had a goal. Like, I had something to work towards, something that I was passionate about, something about my art that I saw going somewhere. So that was my Etsy, and it really actually gave me drive and ambition towards something with my art. So yes, even though my Etsy didn't really do that much for me career-wise, it was that turning point. It was like a switch in my brain that was like, oh shoot, time to take things seriously now. Leading into 2023 was the first time I actually set goals for my business, what I wanted to achieve, the money I wanted to make, and I kind of just like let the universe do its thing, and I put in the work and I treated it like a 9-to-5 job. So every day I would get up, whatever, do my morning routine, go to the gym, and I'll come to my desk and I would do my admin work, I would schedule my content, I would, you know, work on client work, I would do outreach, like everything you had to do. I had no other team, I had no management, it was just me. And so 2023 was my best year ever. And again, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I have a video out where I talk all about everything that happened to me in 2023 and how I made it happen. So you could go check that out if you want more detail about that. But now, as I sit and talk to you in 2024, I can tell you that I am definitely feeling the burnout, because being an artist and you're employed by yourself is definitely a lot of work, because you are the one making the art, you are the one reaching out to brands, you are the one doing your own negotiation, you are answering your emails from inbounds of companies who want to work for you. So I definitely feel burnt out. And I feel like, for me at least, one thing that I prioritized a lot was the business side of my business. So like I said, I would always come to my desk and I find myself doing a lot of admin tasks. And yeah, they need to be done 100% because that's what's going to help accelerate me in my business. I feel like the creating part of my business fell to the back burner, which is odd considering I'm a freaking illustrator, I'm a freaking artist. My priority should be making art. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And even to this day, like today, I get so caught up in like, I need to reply to this person, I need to pitch, all the business stuff. Like, I literally went and made my word of the year create, because when I took time to reflect, I realized how much I wasn't creating and how much I wasn't prioritizing it, which is crazy because the reason I even came here is because I wanted to create and I want to show people that you can have a creative lifestyle and you can make money off of it. I post a lot of content online talking about my wins, the clients I've worked with, the successes I had, but there's so much that goes into that to make that happen that people don't really talk about, that I want to make sure that I do talk about, so that people know it's not all glitz and glam and sunshines and rainbows and people just come to you. There's so much hours. Like, sometimes I will be at my desk from 10 to 10, okay? Sometimes I'll be at my desk for a week straight, no art creation, just like doing other admin tasks. And it's draining, it's taxing. Sometimes I dread waking up in the morning and coming to my desk to do admin work because I just want to create. The discipline is in me to know that I have to do this admin stuff to get to where I want to be in my career. And I think I'm still also trying to actively figure out an art practice in terms of like a way to consistently just create without the pressure. I'm trying to find time, whether that's waking up early and for an hour just like sketching and drawing. I recently bought gouache paint, so I'm gonna start learning how to use gouache. And if you know me, I'm traditionally a digital artist, so this is really gonna be my first time practicing with paint every single day. I bought a sketchbook too, so I really want to make art for fun and not post it anywhere. Personally, I get so caught up in creating to post because I do want to grow my band and because I want to be I'm a content creator plus an artist. That's kind of where my intersection is. And so because of that, everything I create, after it's created, I post it. And so in the back of my head subconsciously, I always think about the fact that this needs to be postable. Like, it needs to be good. It needs to look a certain way so that I can post it. So now I'm just prioritizing making room for mistakes and making room for learning. And so I'm excited to see how learning gouache is going to be like for me. I'm also making it a goal of mine to do one Skillshare class every 2 months, which shouldn't be too hard considering Skillshare classes aren't that long, but I just want to make it a point to just spend some time learning and creating for fun and growing my skill set without having the pressure of posting it online. Like, it's no secret in today's day and age, you kind of have to have an online presence to grow as an artist. There are so many artists, and it's definitely not an oversaturated industry, but if you want to stand out from the crowd, you got to show your personality, you got to show your brand, you got to show who you are, and all this stuff that gets to me a lot. Honestly, at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade my career with anything, even though there are struggles. I feel like with any career path, there's struggles, whether you work in a 9-to-5 or whether you work for yourself, there's gonna be issues. And personally, I'd rather go through these issues when I know that at the end of the day, I am doing something that I love and I'm doing something for me, which is creating art and creating an impact, showing people that you can live a creative lifestyle through the content I post. And not only that, me being able to live this creative life. Yes, I work like a dog every single day, but I know at the end of the day, I do have time freedom and location freedom, meaning I can work the hours that I want and I can work from wherever I want. If I want to go on a friggin' trip to Portugal, I can go to Portugal and I can still work from there, and I can work 3 hours one day, I can work 8 hours the next. As long as my work's getting done and I'm being productive and I'm doing the things that I need to do for my business, I can still vibe out and have a good time. Like, it's really a trade-off for me, and it's a benefit, and it's something that I really value. And like, that to me is kind of like my version of work-life balance, is like being able to travel and see the world while also helping people out on the internet and showing people what is possible when you do live out your passions. Because screw that random auntie that one day told you you cannot be an artist and you cannot live creatively and you're probably broke, because that's not the case, okay? That was not the case. If this was helpful to you at all, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know to make more of these. And I also post every single Monday in case you didn't know, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that you don't miss a single upload. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.